Rocky, yeah.
Just stand up.
A round of applause once he gets up.
I'm one of those guys from Venice that could barely walk. What an exciting night. All these senior citizens out at 7:45. Wow! Not you, not you. Calm down. Which one of you guys got laid last time? The guy who's all red. So, my name is Rocky. I've been married to Pixie for 40 years. The only reason why I do this, it's the only place I could get a word in edgewise. Oh, we're going to start like that? So, maturing in marriage is coming to the understanding that your wife can't remember where she's left her glasses, usually on top of her head, but she can remember something I said 39 years ago on a Monday night. That is my point. You're going to be a problem. The whole table? The whole table. So, my wife will have 50% of a conversation in her head before bringing me into it, and at that point I'm accused of never paying attention. I have to admit, though, I do have what I consider to be Italian Alzheimer's. That's where I forget everything but the grudges. We're both Italian, we talk with our hands a lot. Sometimes Pixie looks like she's landing planes on an aircraft carrier. Well, she broke her wrist a couple of years ago and she developed a speech impediment. She just stood to go. The 3 most frightening words in any marriage. Any guesses? I was thinking. The last time she was thinking, it cost me 50 grand to put an addition on the house. After being married 40 years, I figured there's 4 stages to marriage. The first is the newlywed stage. You're going at it like bunnies, a lot of playful banter and sexual innuendo. The second is happy. The sex is good, but what do you get? What are you doing to mommy? We are a screaming Yahtzee. We want to play too. Goddamn kids. The third is amused. You're feeling amorous. You run to the bedroom. You rip your clothes off. And you look at each other and just crack up because gravity's a bitch. And then finally there's that tolerance stage. All that playful banter is turned into a bit of bickering. You still have sex. I refer to it as hallway sex. You just walk by each other and go, screw you. I thought this aging stuff was going to take a lot longer. I would rather deal with acne than arthritis. So, my hands are getting stiff. My knees were shot. I go to the doctor. He examines me. He says, you have a lot of arthritis. It's literally everywhere. He says, and you got to get used to it. He says, it'll be a little bit painful, and it's going to make everything stiff. That was a lie. Scott mentioned I've been doing a lot of stuff lately. I do a lot of open mics. So I have a regular Tuesday open mic, and I'm always the oldest guy there. I have surgical scars that are younger than some of the kids that are at the open mic. It's like a lot of 25-year-olds. I used to smoke a lot of pot. I used to like getting high. I don't do that anymore. Now if I want to feel high, I just jump up off the chair. You guys know what that feels like. I walk into the bathroom now and I stand in front of the bowl. It actually takes me longer to start peeing than it does to actually pee. Prostate guys, you get it. There are four rules to aging. One is you never pass up a bathroom. 2, you never waste an erection. 3, you never get on the floor without a plan to get back up. And 4, most importantly, never trust a fart. Nobody really explains to you what's going to happen to your body as you age. Men will agree. At a certain point, you realize that your testicles are getting longer than a CVS receipt. And so, I'm getting more wrapped up in the wire. Somebody asked me, when did you realize that you were starting to get old? And I said, it was the first time I sat on the toilet and I experienced splashdown. After a few times of this happening, I thought to myself, I need a TFD, a testicular flotation device. So I decide I'm going to get a couple of mini bagels and use those as life preservers. That worked out well. Except that they broke apart in the water. Then I realized I had to polyurethane them and put a little schmear on top. This way they would stick nicely. You know, you guys can see I have more than a few tattoos. So she drops me off one day at the tattoo parlor. I go in, I come home, we're sitting out in the backyard. She goes, "Why did you get 3 lines tattooed above your knee?" I said, "Well, you remember when the kids were little, we would measure their height by drawing a line on the door jamb." She goes, "Yeah, I get it, but I don't get the 3 lines." I said to her, "I'm trying to measure the impact of gravity on my testicles." She says, "Why the dotted line?" I said, "Because at that point, I can't wear shorts anymore." Thank you. Menopause was an interesting time for us. Menopause was an interesting time for us. I like to call it thermostat wars. She spent the first 30 years of our marriage freezing all the time. Suddenly, she's sweating bullets. She put the thermostat so low that we would have intermittent flurries in the bedroom. I asked her what the hot flashes were like. She explained to me it was like burning from the inside out. Right? Reasonable? Okay. My response was, "Oh, it's like when I eat a spicy Italian meal." I woke up a half hour later and she was standing over me with a frying pan. We're in bed one night and I hear bzzz. Get excited. Bzzz. I get more excited. I turn around and there she is with a little fan, just trying to cool off. I had a different buzzing in mind. You know, menopause for an Italian woman is basically Mother Nature's way of telling her you're going to deal with facial hair for the remainder of your days. In fact, my grandmother at 90 had such a luxurious beard that she was able to front for ZZ Top. Are you Italian? Do you know? All right. All right, I got one more joke. So I'm up in New York with my little nephew, and he wants to go for ice cream. So we're driving around. If you know anything about New York, you end up behind a garbage truck. It's inevitable. So we're behind the garbage truck. The garbage truck hits one of those giant New York potholes. Garbage comes flying out, and this giant dildo smashes into the windshield. My little nephew's bug-eyed. He's looking at me, and I say, "Matt, I don't want to have an embarrassing conversation." I say, "Matt, don't worry about it. It was just a bug." He looks me dead in the eye and he goes, "Uncle Rocky, how does a bug fly with a dick that big?" All right, that's my time. Thank you. Thanks for coming tonight.